Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
And welcome to the library that we all love to be here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us online. I would like to know today who is the parent here and who is the educator. Can you? Parent? Do we have any educators today? Yes, last time we had a few educators. So we are here today, and I'm sure many of the information I will share, you probably know it as parents. We are just going to decode the emotional behavior of the children. Please note, there is no judgment here. There is no you did wrong or you're doing anything wrong. It's we all as parents, we do our best and we do to the best of our abilities. But the more we learn, the more we understand our children, the better generation we build. And our aim as parents, I haven't seen any parent until now that they don't want the best for their children and their grandchildren. So I know every parent is so proud when their children do something good and well, and they are not happy when their children do something that is not good. But in our hearts, as parents, we all want the best for our children. So even if we have the habit of punishing our children or do something aggressive or anything with them, I know it's not something that people like to do it, but they get to that point to do it. But in our heart, we all love our children dearly and we want them to be the best. Am I right? Good. So let's start. The presentation is a little bit, we're not going to count much on it. It's just a little bit visual, but it's more what we are going to discuss together, what we are going to share. So when I say your body speaks your mind, I mean by every single trait on your physical is going to tell me what is going inside of your mind and in your emotions. So I will give you an example later on. But when we talk about us as our body express what is in our mind, it's the same for our children. So when they behave certain way, when something shows up on them, even small pimple, even a small thing that a cut or anything on them, it is an expression of what is going inside of them. Okay? We are going to talk about the behavior, which is very, very important, and what is behind the behavior, not exactly what the child is doing, why he's doing this, because what they do is not a result of they're doing it intentionally, especially 0 to 7. They do things without understanding. They don't know why they're doing what they are doing. And as parents, if you understand what your children and why they're doing what they are doing, then everything changes. The whole parenting changes, the whole way you deal with them changes, everything completely. You will feel better yourself as a person in your own life, because every one of us, we have our business, our job, our family, our responsibilities, social, all the general things that every person has. Plus, on top of all that, you have to be a good parent. So imagine the stress and the load everyone has. And that's why, please understand, there is no judgment in any way, okay? So when your child starts screaming or shouting or, you can take this. They start screaming or shouting or throwing tantrum, they are just giving you a message. They are not doing this because they like to do it. They are giving you a message. And we want to decode today what is the message. Every child, every single one, no exception, either they feel safe and loved, or they feel overwhelmed and rejected. you will tell me how my child will be rejected and I love them so much. It is their own perception, it is their own reading, not you. Like if you come and say something to the child because you want to discipline them and you want something good for them, how do they read it? My mom doesn't love me or my dad doesn't love me. This is how they see it. They don't see discipline for their own good. I'll give you an example. I have two children, both are adult. My daughter is 34, my son is 28. When they were younger, when I used to tell them things to discipline them and to organize them and to do things, they used to say, Mom, you should be working in the army, because they considered me, I'm very strict. And I said, when you're older, you will appreciate what I'm doing now. And they looked at each other like, yeah, in your dreams. And they said it like, really, in your dreams. I said, you will see. So now when we sit and chat and we talk about it, I say, remember oh, Mom, of course we remember. We were kids. What do you expect? So they really see things differently than what is your intention and why you're doing what you're doing. Obviously, when they are feeling happy and loved and cared for, they are like calm, playful, connected. And when they feel overwhelmed and no safety for them, is like the world is crumbling in front of them. And it reflects on their attitude with their friends at school and you know with their friends in the neighborhood and everywhere. May I ask one more question? Who here has children 0 to 7 years old? And up to 15, 16? Okay. Okay, so more the younger one. And this is actually your responsibility now is really 0 to 7. If you are present and focused and you do really good parenting, you are creating an amazing generation. And me being here today and the coming sessions, my goal, my aim is to keep helping parents to build and to support these children from 0 to 7. So we all will have an amazing generation coming soon into this life, and then the world will be a better place for everyone. And I hope there will be thousands of people like me helping others who have a little bit more knowledge than the others to create this. We will have an amazing generation in the future. So, as we said, when they are overwhelmed, there is immediately these responses that the children have. So either they are in the fight, so they start throwing tantrum. Either they are in flight, we will talk about them in details, or they freeze, or they fawn. And all of them, when you start understanding these, at least only these, there are more, of course, but these are the important ones. When you start understanding these behavior and you know why they're doing it, your life is easy with them. It's going to be easy. So let's talk about them one by one. So when for fight, when they start shouting and they start throwing tantrum, you think they're attacking you, you think they are stubborn, you think they are, in Arabic we say bala marba, like they are not raised well. We create and we come up with so many adjectives and words to express this for them, or he's like his mom, or she is like her dad, and then we start creating this for them, or they're this and that. That is not correct, and this is, I hope, if you do that, you stop doing it as of today, because you are going to aggravate things and make it even worse. So when they start throwing the tantrum or getting angry, last time one parent said that the girl, she's 4 years old, she hits her mother. And she hits her mother, and they explained to her that it's not good to hit her mother, but of course, she cannot understand that she's hitting her mother. For her, this is her reaction to the anger she is feeling, to the anger she is expressing. And so the child, how do they feel? They feel powerless. So why they do this? Let's say you took something, they were playing with something and you took it from them. We're talking about, like the 0 to 7 years old. If they're playing with something or they're doing something and they want to hurt themselves, they will get hurt, let's say with a match or a glass that might fall, and so you pull it, you take it from them immediately for fear of them, for them. They don't understand that. For them is you took something from them that they are playing, they want to explore, they want to discover, they want to do something. Or even if they are playing with their toys and you want them to stop and then go shower, let's say, or to eat or anything. They don't understand why you're doing what you're doing. What they feel, what they understand is you're taking away from them something that they were enjoying or they want to explore. And if you don't tell them in advance what you're gonna do, they will keep doing this until it's repetitive, and then they understand what it is. So they feel powerless when they are shouting and when they are throwing tantrum. It means they feel inside, I have no power. And usually, of course, as a 4-year-old or 7-year-old, they feel like the mom and the dad, they are the power, not them. Like they are the one who are controlling things. Flight, it's when they are restless and distraction. Many people, when they say restless and distraction, they have ADHD. I have nothing against ADHD, but ADHD is a description of a state of a child. It's not a sickness. It is a description of a state. It doesn't mean that some children do not have excessive ADHD, but that excessive is something that you need to deal with. But if every child is, because he's restless and distracted, we want to label them as ADHD, then we're in trouble. The whole society has ADHD. True? I forgot ADHD. Attention deficit disorder. Yeah, attention deficit disorder. So who doesn't have attention deficit at one point? And especially kids, they are still building their personality. They are still exploring. They are still learning and understanding life. It's the period that they are exploring. And we come and we suppress them and we don't want them to express it. We are doing wrong when we do this. So for me, when my kids used to to throw tantrum, I used to watch them, or I would ignore them. I would continue doing what I'm doing until they finish, and then I sit and talk to them. But if you want to come and stop immediately and then screaming at them, like I saw mothers in supermarkets, they feel embarrassed and they start creating another scene, it gets even worse for the kids. And I work with so many children. Like recently, I'm working with a young person. He's 18 now. He is still telling me about what they did to him when he was young. He is still traumatized by how they were disciplining him as a young boy. So it's stored in their cells, it's stored in their body, and then eventually it's gonna affect something else. So this restlessness and distraction, it's like they want to escape from that feeling. And escaping, it has many ways for them to express it. So this is what we said, they're not focused and they are hyper. Freeze, this is actually when they really start saying, I don't know, do you want to eat this? No, I don't know. What do you want me to do? Shall I put this for you in your lunchbox? I don't know. They just don't, they are so overwhelmed, they don't know anything. And they do know, but they can't tell you because they are overwhelmed. They feel it's too much for them to handle it. Even the young adult, like the teenager. Also, I have a client, he's 16. His mom was complaining. She said, if we tell him, what do you want us to prepare for you to eat? He says, I don't know. We prepare something we know he likes. He say, why you did this? I don't like this. I don't want this anymore. But this is your favorite. Yeah, it was my favorite until yesterday. Today it's not his favorite. And she said, he's difficult. I said, he's not difficult. He is overwhelmed. The guy was dealing with so many things that the mother didn't know about before he asked her to come and see me, because his sister was visiting me before. He saw the changes on his sister, so he asked his mom to come see me. He was dealing with identity issues. he was dealing with bullying at school and outside school. Even when he goes out with his friends to a coffee shop or to the beach or anywhere, he's being bullied. The boy was like dealing with all this and his school studies, of course. And with the teachers, some teachers, of course, are not happy with his performance because he's not happy himself. He is not sleeping well because his mind is working all the time. And then she told me, what do I do, like, with the food? I said, leave the food, let him order. Like, this is the last of your worry. There are more important things to deal with now, and this is the last. If he doesn't want to eat it, let him not eat it. So thank God he improved and things have changed completely. So when they're overwhelmed, really, it's like they can't handle it anymore. Even us as adults, when we're overwhelmed, you can't handle things. You just get upset easily. You don't want people to ask you something. If you're sitting at your desk, I was this. I used to be working at my desk and the staff would come in to ask me something. I say, what again now? Like, because I had so much on my plate, I couldn't even answer someone who's coming to ask me for work. It's not like they come to distract me. They wanted to ask me something for work. I would say, what now? Like, every moment it becomes something. So even us as adults, at one point, we cannot handle overwhelming feeling. So imagine for them that their nervous system is still not fully formed. Their nervous system is still building. They don't understand many things. For them, they see those people like we are here and look at those books and those shelves higher than us. For them kids, it's like we are that for them. Phone. I had to deal with this too with my daughter. Usually, people don't notice this until later when they are really adult. This is when they feel like they have to agree to anything you tell them. Yes, mommy. Okay, mommy. Yes, daddy. Okay, daddy. They will do anything you tell them because they want your love. They are the people pleaser, we call it now. And this is the problem, that people don't notice it because it's like, he's a good girl, he's a good boy, or she's a good girl because, you know, whatever I tell them, they do. Be aware that if you tell them everything and they follow and they do, they are struggling and suffering inside. My daughter was one. Anything we tell her, okay, mommy, okay, daddy. She wanted her dad to love her. So whatever he tells her, even something she doesn't want to do it, she would do it. So she's not anymore, thank God. But this is actually very dangerous when people are really in good behavior all the time, because inside they are feeling that they are not loved, that they have to be yes person, so everyone will love them. And this is really very, very, very painful. They become, in other words, as adults, they become doormats. They would do at work anything so they are accepted, with their friends, that they are accepted, to the peer group. This is actually the biggest problem if you don't deal with this when they are younger. If you wait till later, they will struggle for a certain period until they recognize it in themselves, and then they will change it. And then you have the overthinking and the worry, and they keep think and think and think and think, and this like, it becomes like, and the fear here starts looping, because when they keep thinking, because they create scenarios in their mind. When I say they think, it doesn't mean, you know, they're analyzing and they're doing, it's just like repeating thoughts, and those repeated thoughts, they are strengthening them. They become kind of reality for them, even if they are not correct. And this fear becomes them. They start fearing everything and anything. As kids, little ones, below 7, their imagination is really, really very strong. And they don't think logically. What they see, when they start having this loop of thoughts in their mind, they think it's real, because their imagination, their mind, creating those pictures, those scenarios, those stories, and they think it's real. like if you talk to a child between, let's say, 4 or 7 years old, you ask them something, we always say they're imaginary friends because they talk to people and they think they're talking to someone. Because they create this and they see, my children used to say, Mom, I promise you I saw this person here. I promise you this happened. Because in their mind, it is real happening. Even though it's just in their imagination, they even feel it. Like the person did this to me or the person tapped me on the back. Excuse me. So when they're younger, they create this. And when they create it, what they need? They just need you to sit to their levels. Those who attended last time, I was emphasizing a lot on this part that when you want to talk to a child, you sit and then eye to eye. So if they're sitting on the floor, you have to sit on the floor and then have your eyes to their eyes level so they can hear you and they can listen to what you're telling them. So what they need reassurance and presence. You are going to sit this way, and then you see that the girl, I took this picture just to show you how it is. When you sit on their level and you talk to them and you tell them you love them or it's okay what's happening, they feel assured, they feel safe. And when children feel safe, you get whatever you want from them. Most important that they feel safe and loved. These two things, and it's easy for us to give it to them. For them, safety, if you just hug them, that's a safety for them. If you just tell them, I'm here, whatever you want, I will be here, I will give you, I will help you, I will whatever, that's safety. I used to take my son, or my daughter, both of them actually, when they're out at a birthday party, which everyone does, if they want to go to the toilet, I would not first leave them alone. I would wait with them inside the toilet, both of them. And for them, that was safety. It is like, I'm there, Mom, you will not leave. I say, no, of course I will not leave. I'm here. So usually now we're lucky, we have beautiful places and toilets are even like our home toilet. But in the past, they were like smaller, especially in the children activity areas. Like I would be standing like this in the toilet while they are, even if it's like a minute or two, it's still like, and then the bag is touching this, and then I'm lifting their pants so it doesn't touch the floor and all of that. Now you don't have all these problems. We're lucky we are in Dubai, alhamdulillah. From 7 to 15, here it becomes worse because they start having the problem of the fearing of judgment, fearing of not fitting in, or the fear of failing at school, which a lot of students and children face this a lot. So when the important shift happens? When does it happen? When you ask why they are feeling or what they are feeling, not why they are doing. Because when you keep questioning why they are doing this, you are in the loop of not moving forward, of not helping them, of not changing anything. But when you ask yourself, what is my child feeling right now? This is where you are solving the problem. Because when you start understanding how they are feeling, you know what you're gonna do. You know how you're gonna help them. You know how you're gonna change the situation for them. They need always help. They need presence. And in these moments, they don't need correction. So when they are throwing tantrum or doing something, it's not the right time to slap them or to shout at them or to discipline them in that moment. That is the moment when you need to understand them. It's the moment that you need to calm them down. You say, it's okay, let's do this, let's do that. I will give you this in a minute, sit down, and we will talk about this sit down thing because I love it. So this is actually applicable on all of us. We have the life force in our system. It's actually, it goes through our whole system. When it becomes a problem, when there are some deviation in this pathway, and the deviation and the accumulation happens from a stressful lifestyle. You would say how a child can have a stressful lifestyle. For them, if certain things don't happen the way they want, this is for them is a stressful lifestyle. If they want something and it's always no, 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 it is stressful for them. If they want to play and you are so rigid with the discipline, again, it's a stressful lifestyle for them. So don't look at it as I'm the parent, I am doing everything, I have all the responsibility, and then on top of that, I have a child. Here, I would really ask you to look back and then be grateful that you have the children, because many, many people are not able to be parents. Many people struggle and suffer because they want to be parents and they cannot, whether medically or emotionally or any reason. So if God gave us this blessing and became parent, we should appreciate it by starting saying, thank God, thank you, God, for giving me this blessing. And from here, your energy shifts, your energy changes, and then you can actually start looking at your child from different eyes, from different perspectives. So don't feel it's a burden, because it's not a burden. We chose that somehow to be parents, and that blessing alone is going to shift things when we recognize it and tell ourselves that I'm blessed to have this child, even if the child was born with a problem, a physical problem, health problem. So I'm going to teach you something very nice and very simple to help with the children and to help yourself also. You don't need to explain it to them. You just do this for them, especially the younger one. The older one, of course, you tell them, just hold your finger, and then things will change. And I'll explain to you how this will happen. This is an ancient art that in the past, all the cultures, they used it, and it was the medicine of the ancient people. We'll talk about it a little bit. This is how it is. It's not a mudra, similar to a mudra. So I'll talk about all of them. So you would just hold the thumb like this. This will calm down the nervous system. We'll talk a little bit about it. Don't do just do it for a second, because if you stay like this, you will sleep. I don't want you to sleep. I want you to focus with me. And I'll teach you 2 steps actually to do when you really want to sleep. If you're exhausted and you're not able to sleep, or you have insomnia, I'll show you this. But this is really gonna calm down the whole nervous system. This is connected to the nervous system, and you will relax and sleep. And the other one, I wanted to show you this picture, because if you're not able to do, many times when I'm driving, I do this, or I do this. Like she's doing this one is actually for breathing. It helps with the breath work. When I do hiking, actually, not here in Lebanon, when I do hiking, I do this, especially if we're on a hill. This will help the lungs to open, and it will help with the altitude, with the breath work. So this is our magic hand. We all have hands, we all have fingers, and we can use them at any moment, at any time. So the thumb, every finger is connected to 2 organs. So the thumb is connected to the spleen and this is why I said the nervous system is because of the spleen and the stomach. So if you notice, babies actually, when they suck their thumb as babies, it's because they're regulating their stomach, because the milk that they drank is too heavy for them, and then the innate reaction is they suck the thumb to regulate or to harmonize their stomach and their digestion. So we have, all this is innate. It's built in us. We are all born with all of this, and it's only now that we have the knowledge to really use it. At the same time, it's the worry. So the attitude is the worry, and the organs related to the thumb is the spleen and the stomach. The index finger is related to fear. And fear, it means it affects the kidneys and the bladder. The middle one is anger, and it affects the gallbladder and the liver. And this one, the ring finger, is the lung and the large intestine, and it's sadness. So when I have adults or children, when they come to me and I feel they have a lot of sadness, I always tell them, hold your ring finger. So either you do this or you do this. It's the same. If you can't use both hands, you can just do this. Like this boy I told you about, because he was bullied all the time, constantly, the whole day. I said, when you start feeling this, when you start looking at them and they're doing or saying what they're saying, I said, what do you feel? He said, I feel sad. I said, you just do this. And then he got, yeah. And the little finger is related to the heart and small intestine, and this is trying too much and pretending. This is where we pretend to be happy, pretend to be successful, pretend to be this, pretend to be that. And this affects a lot the heart, and it affects the small intestine. And when people have Alzheimer or Parkinson and all of this, it means that pathway of energy, of life force in their system is blocked, and it's not really in harmony. That was the first tool. Now the second tool, it's also simple. We have 2 steps. So either you put your hands, like the picture, you put your hands on the collarbone, or you can do this. You don't have to cross them. You can do this. This will help you to adapt. It will help you to relax. It will help you to breathe. And for children, when you do this for them, they will adapt immediately to what I do it when I travel for jet lag also. So I adapt to the new timing, new weather, new things. So yesterday, this client, he asked me, so when you go to Lebanon, you always have the problem, you always have the virus. I said, no. He said, why not? He said, so your body is used to the virus in Lebanon? I said, no, because I adapt before I get there. On the plane, I already adapted myself to get there. So when you really connect to your body and you work on your body by these simple steps, you are adjusting everything in your whole system. And the second one is you put one hand on the chest and one hand on your stomach, on your belly button, actually. It's just like this. This will calm you down. The third one is you, mom, and dad. Is you sit down, you relax, you take a deep breath. And why didn't I put this as the first one? This should be the first slide, the first step as the tool. But I put it here intentionally because I want to put a lot of emphasis on this. This is when the child is really throwing tantrum or doing something and you can't really manage them. The best thing for you to do is you sit down, you take a deep breath, and you say, even if you're at the mall, even if you're out, not at home, the best thing is to just sit down. If it is a child, like really young, you put them on your lap, and then you take a deep breath and you tell them to copy you, because your children are a mirror of you with everything. If you're angry, if you're upset, if you're sad, if anything you're feeling, they are feeling it. And sometimes if you have sadness, deep sadness, like grief or loss or anything, and you think your children don't know or don't feel it, you're mistaken, because they feel everything. If you are angry, if you come home because something happened at work and you're agitated and nervous, they will start behaving and you say, this is the last thing I need now, because they are feeling what you are going through. And more with the mom, because they are still connected somehow with the umbilical energetical cord with the mom, but with the dad the same. That connection, that energetical connection is there. They feel everything. The kids up to 7 years old, even older, but that is more, they really are mirroring everything you do. So if they start creating and doing certain things, ask yourself, what am I feeling? Me, not them, because they are a mirror. Literally, it's a mirror. And even at a later age, like my son, a couple of years ago, I was talking to him about something, and something related to the business, and we're discussing. And then I'm kind of like a little bit, strict with him. And then he said, I'm your mirror, so don't tell me this. I said, Yes, but I did that as mistake, let's say I invested in something, so you don't have to invest now yourself because this and this and that. He said, I'm your mirror, don't tell me that. You made mistake, I'm gonna make the mistake myself too. I said, no, you don't have to make the mistake because I learned, I didn't have anyone to guide me, to help me. I'm guiding you. He said, okay, I'll take that part, but I'm your mirror, so don't say this and that. And then he kept telling me, I'm your mirror. I said, okay, I have to change me, so then he changes. They're not really difficult, your kids, they're just overwhelmed. I would like to emphasize on this one. And remember, we are not only raising a child, we are teaching a nervous system how to feel and be safe in the world. And this stays with them for life. Like what you plant, the seed you plant now in your children as kids, I know many grandparents, they also are raising their own grandkids because the parents are working both. Even the grandparents, when they are planting the seed now in these kids, this is what they are doing for life. As I told you, the boy was telling me the other day what happened with him as a kid. And not only him, everyone. We all remember what happened or what harmed us or what we were happy, what we liked, what we didn't like as kids, and what affected us. And teachers have a huge influence on our kids because we all know, and I'm sure if you now think of your teachers, the one you hated or the one you liked, they are still, they have their imprint in us because of the way they handle situations with us. I still love certain teachers. I never met them because I'm here for 38 years. I go in the few weeks to Lebanon to see my family and come back. So I don't know where my teachers are, but I still remember how they look like. The one who were rude and annoying and I don't know what, and the one who were nice and supporting and helping. So teachers are really very, very influential on our kids. That's why what Alessio was saying earlier, decision where to put our children in which school, and decision for, luckily we are in Dubai also, they choose good teachers and there are certain criteria, but still if the teachers have their own problems and they come to school with their own problems, then we have a problem. Trust your journey and their journey. I wanted to show you this because I would like to talk about a small story here. There was once, like from this caterpillar, it becomes the butterfly, right? We all know this. There was a guy who saw this in their own garden that the caterpillar is starting to prepare to become a butterfly. And it was in the second stage of the picture before it opened. So it started to open a little bit, but it still needed a few days to fly. He wanted to see it flying, so he helped the butterfly to open and to leave. And what happened to the butterfly? Because it's very, very thin, fragile, how to say that, like the skin and the building of the butterfly, he broke her wing without knowing, because he was helping it, because he was doing good, helping it to come out and be the butterfly, the beautiful butterfly. But he damaged her, he harmed her. She couldn't fly, the butterfly couldn't fly, so it was sitting on the ground for I don't know how long until the cycle finished and it died. So sometimes we think we are doing something good for our kids without knowing, but we are not. We are really harming them by shouting, by screaming, by putting our anger, by putting our own problems, our upbringing with our parents, with our aunties and uncles and all what we have. We're putting all that on them. We are creating their problem, we are creating a problem for them without knowing. So we always have to look back at ourselves, work on ourselves, and when we work on ourselves, it's going to affect them anyways. Many times, people, like women, they bring their children for me to help them. I ask the woman to work with her first. I say, I will help your son or your daughter, but I need to do a few sessions with you first, because You need the help. And when you help yourself, when you start getting angry at everything, when you start creating certain things, it's going to affect them automatically. And many times, actually, I work with the whole family. I start with the girl or with the boy, and then I get the siblings, and then the mom and the dad, or vice versa. Like, there is no specific sequence, but everyone. So always think of working on yourself first. Not the child is not the problem. The problem is somewhere else. You fix your own self as parent, as mom and dad, and then it will reflect on your children immediately. I'll leave you with these two questions, which we already talked about them. Which response do you see most in your child? So reflect on that. Reflect on what is the attitude that the child is always having, always repetitive, because it's becoming a pattern. And when it becomes a pattern, that means something is happening at home. Something is happening between you and your wife, or you and your husband. Something is happening with the siblings. Something is going on. So always ask yourself, what is happening there? And the next question, how do you recognize it in yourself? Because as I said earlier, our kids are mirror of us. They mirror our attitude, they mirror our anger, because they are a sponge. When they are born, when they are babies, they are like a sponge. Whatever you bring into the sponge, it absorbs it. Whatever you put in it, you can put water and you can put juice and you can put I don't know what in the sponge, and it will absorb it. If you want to have a good son or a good daughter or successful or this or that, it's the seeds that you plant now, not when they are adult and you want to discipline them. And especially those kids between 0 and 7, please discipline them in a certain way, which means give them a routine. When I say discipline them, give them a routine. If you leave them to sleep anytime they want, they are tired, they are exhausted, they start behaving weird, they start behaving, I don't know what. Give them time, explain to them, you will sleep at 8 o'clock. They don't know, actually, also, they don't have a notion of time. And you all know, like, I used to tell my kids, we are traveling to grandma and grandpa. We sleep 2 nights, and then one night, and we sleep one night, and we sleep another night, and then we're traveling. They know by action. They don't know the time notion. If you tell them, leave everything, it's time to go to bed, they will start throwing a tantrum. I'm talking about younger one. They start crying. Because why? Not because they don't want to shower, because all kids love to shower, because you are breaking the playing time for them. You are breaking something that they want to continue, they want to do. My nieces are still the same. When I'm visiting in Lebanon, and then we're playing, and then their mom says, okay, shower time. No, they start throwing tantrum. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. After 1 minute, they don't know what is 1 minute. And then she says, okay, you shower and you come back and continue playing with me. They say, okay, they run to the bathroom. But if you don't give them, and like you tell them you can still play, this is an example, you don't have to do this. I'm just giving you an example. So when you explain to them what you need them to do and why you want them to do it, even if they are 4 years old, even if they are 3 years old, they understand. Don't think they will not understand this. I used to explain to my son when he was 3 years old that I'm going now, he will stay at home with grandpa and grandma. I'll go bring something and come back, and then I'll take him out. He would be okay. If I leave the house without telling him, he would throw a tantrum. He will keep crying until I come back. And when I come back home, he says, you left without telling me, like as if I had to take permission from him. And I say, I promise. And then he used to cry. He say, Mom, you left without telling me. You promised that you will tell me. I said, I thought you were sleeping. That's why I lied. White lie. And since that time, he was 3.5 years old. Since that time, every time, if he's playing, if he's expecting me to be around, I would say, I'm going there, I'll do this, and then I'll come back, and then whatever we'll do after this. They understand, they grasp everything. If you really explain to them, as I said, they have to be in your face, on your lap, the younger ones. If not, you you sit on the floor or on a chair, you sit facing them, you tell them what you want them to do, and I promise you they will do it. No matter what age they are, they will understand and they will follow, they will do it. And the more you explain to them, not long story, make it short, 1 minute, maximum 1 minute, 2, 3 sentences, you tell them what you want. If you want them to do several things, you have to do it several times. So the first time is, let's say now, you are going to go and shower, and after the shower, you are going to eat. That's it. Not 3 steps, not 3 things to do. 3 things to do for them as little ones is too much. It's overwhelming. But you finish that. Now we are going to do this. Now we are going to do that. I know probably you don't have time to do all of this, but if you do it, trust me, you will have amazing time with your children. You will enjoy raising them. They will be happy spending time with you. And then we have happy families, then we have happy societies, then we have happy country, and then we have happy world. I hope so. My presentation is over. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. If you need the presentation, maybe you can register with the library, and I'll tell them they can share it with you if you would like to have it. Any questions? Please. Yes.
Yeah, the current problem which I face, or maybe many parents would be facing, is handling the screen time and how to kind of detach them from the devices, especially because in schools you are promoting, generally I've seen they are getting promoted to the device because they need the device to be on in the school, and during their leisure time they kind of connect to the device always, and then when they come back home they have the television, they have the mobile and all those things. Now one technique which I personally took is that keep this device away at home and then be yourself, and at least even if you are not reading the book, you make them feel that I'm reading a book, or I literally read the book. But I have not seen that much effectiveness of that. Do you have any kind of the mantras for this to handle this?
How old is your child?
He is here listening. Is 10.
Hi, 10. So I will tell you something, then I will answer that. The device is gonna work on your nervous system, and you watch Tom and Jerry? Did you watch Tom and Jerry before? No? So Tom and Jerry is the cat and the mouse that they keep running after each other. And in one episode, Tom actually, he hits himself, and then it starts like making like this, like his whole body is making like electricity. When you have the device, the pad or the phone all the time like this, your nervous system is doing this all the time. So when you want to go to sleep, even if you try to close your eyes, you will not be able to sleep because your body is making all the time. Even if you don't hear it, this is what's happening. And all of us, even adults, when you keep the device with you, whether when you go to bed or I don't know, even when you're before going to bed, like an hour or 2 hours even, your nervous system is really doing So the best way is really, and you probably need to be the example for them, because when you don't keep the phone next to you yourself, like let's say before they go to bed, then they will be copying, because children copy us, as I said, they copy us and they mirror us. So one thing is important that you need to explain to them. What's your name?
Alok.
Alok?
Yeah.
So Alok, I'm happy that you're here because you're hearing it from me, not only from dad and mom. Having the tablet and the phone in the evening all the time like this before you sleep, it's gonna be making mess in your mind and in your brain, and you will not be able to focus the following day, and you will not be able to sleep well. So you wake up in the morning already tired because your brain didn't shut down. It's still working. It's still making this. Okay, so when you put it away and you sleep and you rest, because we need time to rest. And when we rest, our body will make new things, like the liver will work, the kidneys, what you eat, you will be happy and you will digest easily. So when you take away your tablet or your phone in the evening, 1 hour minimum or 2 hours before you go to bed, the following day you will wake up strong, energetic, and you go and you're happy. You will not feel tired and exhausted and you don't want to move. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. So it's very important to explain to them, and you can show them actually. Thank you for this. I wish I thought about it to put it, because if you can take from YouTube and show him how exactly that was the only thing that came to my mind, Tom and Jerry, because my kids watched a lot Tom and Jerry, and I always said, Tom, when he has this like electric thing, this is how the nervous system is doing when the tablet is in front of us. I tell my kids, they're adult, as I said, like they can't keep the phone next to them when they sleep. It has to be away from them. And many of my clients, I told them they said they use it as an alarm. I said, buy the old alarm, you know, like the 9 dirhams or 5 dirhams alarm, the old one. Put this for them. It's better than the phone, because the phone, they will have tendency to always look at it. So keep the phone away, at least. And some people, actually, those who have insomnia, I tell them to keep the phone outside the room. When they want to go to bed, the phone has to be out. Otherwise, the frequency of these devices is too strong. You can, I mean, if you look at the phone and you know what you can do with the phone, taking photo, having connection 5G and 3G and I don't know all the Gs in the world. If you are connected easily with this, imagine what is this doing to your nervous system. So related to the insomnia, I forgot to tell you that. So when, also for you actually as parents, if you don't sleep well and you don't have enough time to rest and to relax, it's going to affect your parenting. It's going to affect everything. Because when you yourself are tired, you will wake up already angry. You will wake up nervous and you want to rush the kids to school and do this. So you need to be the example by putting your phone and your devices away at least 2 hours before you sleep. And to help you sleep, if you don't sleep, you will hold this one together with the pad of the thumb. This is actually going to relax the nervous system. And then you hold the little finger after that. If you're still awake, most of the time you sleep, you do the other hand. That's it. And this is actually a simple thing that you can do anywhere you are, even if you're sleepy on the flight, at home, like really you can't sleep. This is a very easy step that you can, it helps you to sleep. And you can teach your kids to do it, because they can do it. I taught this to my son for worry. So when he used to get a lot in trouble at school, a lot, because he had to drop the pencil, the ruler, I don't know what. Every time something is happening. So the teacher, the best result for her, the best solution, go to the office, to the dean's office, to the principal's office, wherever. And so as kids, he would think, oh, I'm in trouble now going there. But there what would they do? You shouldn't do this anymore, or I will tell your parent, or whatever, like all these threatening. But for them, that was like the fact that they say, go to the dean's office or to the principal's office, it was already a problem. They built that fear in them. So I taught him to hold this. So he used to hold his finger going all the way to the office. And then he would reach there, he would say, yes, sir, I know, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Yes, sir, I will not distract the class. Yes, sir. And then I say, okay, he's a good boy, like, why he's here? Then he goes back, and then he comes home, he tells me, Mom, I did this, and like, he was like 7 years old. Mom, I did this, and this happened, and then the teacher told me this, and I said, okay, good. I'm teaching my friends. I said, okay, good. So he taught all his friends to do this when they get in trouble. So when you help them, even if he's, you can hold the finger yourself. Like, they don't have to do it themselves. You can just, I used to read for my kids every night before they sleep. And I used to hold their thumb, thinking for them, like, you know, I'm holding their thumb. When I have no energy to read like a whole book, I just want to read one page because I can't stop until they sleep. Because they, Mom, we were still awake. I say, okay. It was also a time for them to make sure that I'm there with them, like I didn't leave. So I used to hold their thumb and then tell them the story. And then within less than a minute, they're gone. So use it, it's very beneficial. And since he's here now, so he knows that the finger, so when they hold each finger, like 1 minute, they don't need, as adults, we need like each finger 5 minutes approximately, but for them, 1 minute only. It will affect their system immediately. Did I answer your question? Thank you. Any other questions? Please.
Thank you so much for this wonderful speech, and I is very inspired a lot. But as a teacher in kindergarten, and sometimes I just deal with some students that's with ADHD. And as you said before during the speech, you said like we should make the kids feel safety and being loved. I think this is really inspired. But sometimes I tried, and I also. But I realized I pay more attention to protect the environment safety, and ignore their like the mental safety, or they say psychological safety. So I think in the future, or maybe next week, I will try to protect or make them feel more safety. But I have one question is, sometimes when I feel the kids is not listening, or they just trying to make noise, or like make the teacher angry or something, I just couldn't help myself raise my voice, and maybe that make them feel unsafe or make them scared, afraid. And sometimes I want them to know now teachers is angry, you shouldn't do this. But I think maybe it's not correct. So I want to ask, how can we control our emotions? Or to, as you said, we should stand the same level and talk to them and face to face, eyes to eyes. I tried, but like for the kids with the ADHD, sometimes I just feel it doesn't work. So I want to know, how can we deal with this in a peaceful feeling, in a peaceful emotion, to talk to them and make them listen to you, or don't make any noise?
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So the best way for the class, actually, since it's kindergarten, you tell them, so if one child is doing this, you know, the noise and the problem, then you need to sit on the floor facing them and then talk to them. And then you tell them, your friends are this, like you tell him a story that if he sits now calmly, he will be enjoying because you're gonna do this to them, you're gonna show them something or play something with them. But if the majority of the class, you have two things. You make a game, you tell them all to sit on their hands. So you do this and you sit on the hands, like this. Do it. When you sit on the hands, I promise you, the whole class will be quiet. So you sit and you tell them, everyone, we're gonna sit on our hands and we're gonna say, sing a song in a minute, or like something. So you tell them, everyone has to sit on their hands. They will follow. You're the teacher, they will follow you, especially kids. So everyone has to sit. Within a minute, in Lebanon, they used to say, you throw the needle, you will hear it's ringing, because when you throw a needle on the floor, if the room is quiet, you will hear the needle falling on the floor. It's an analogy for this. So when they sit on their hands, the whole class will be quiet. And if, how many students in your class? Okay, it's a big class. So this one it makes the students really quiet immediately, but you do it together with them. And you can do this one also, and you play with them actually the game. You can come up with a game, like you teach them, I'm sure you teach them, this is the names of the fingers. So you make the game that everyone has to hold the same. Let's say all of them, they hold the right hand. Because when you guide them through these steps, they will follow you. So, and there will be harmony if now we all sit on our hands, we're gonna be still, all of us, we're gonna sleep. This is actually, by the way, one more step for sleeping. So you can put your hands on your sit bone, and this actually will make you be still, and you will calm down. So either you do this, or you play the game with the fingers. You have the fingers. You can have it, actually, you can find it on internet now. It's available there also. So you play the game with, this is the thumb, this is the index, this is, I don't know, like you teach them this by playing the game, and make it the music, make it like a rhythm with your own, language or thing. And and as I said, for kids, 1 minute, not more. You don't need more than 1 minute for each finger. So to do the 10 fingers, 10 minutes, it's gonna be like, you will have a quiet. They will sleep, actually. Some of them, they might sleep. And I'm not kidding. Some of them, they might sleep. The one who you say they have ADHD, look at something where they sit at the same time, at the same place. Okay, the person who moves a lot in class, the kids who move a lot in class, they can't sit still, they move a lot. You need to look what's behind them and what's above them. If they have like electricity or router or some electricity behind them, you need to move their place, put them somewhere else. If there is a beam on top of, like this beam, if someone is sitting under this beam and it's lower, because all the schools here have very low ceiling, they cannot sit still. They will be agitated. They cannot control it. If you sit in a place and you have the beam on top of you like this, you will not be able to sit more than 10 minutes. So imagine, for them, their nervous system is still fragile, is still, building, and then they're sitting under this, or they have, like, I don't know what's it called, like a DB, the power, the cables of the room. If it is behind this person, you have to change his place. It's because of that affecting the nervous system. And especially certain kids, their nervous system is more hyper, more active, because they don't even rest at home, because they're labeled as ADHD. So they say, they have this. So they keep them, they consider them as hyper. They don't know what's happening. Maybe where they sleep also has a problem. So look at all these things in the class, and then that area where there are these electrical things, don't put any children there. And for you as a teacher, don't sit facing the door, because you will be drained. The 10 minutes you get to the class, after 10 minutes, you're drained, you have no energy, you just want the day to finish. So move your desk and don't sit facing the door. Okay? Thank you. Yes, sure.
We all know there are so many benefits to but since we all know that there are so many benefits to it, and some adults do practice it, and apparently, like according to research, it changes your brain chemistry. So in your experience, have you had any success with encouraging young people, like children of all ages, to practice it? Because I haven't seen much of that happening in schools and all that.
Yes, of course, we encourage them, but breath work needs efforts. I chose this part. There is more to this. I just gave you 0.000% of the whole modality. I chose this because you have no effort to make. While you're sitting, you can just do this. I was sitting earlier in the session earlier. I was just, sitting, putting my hands like this. You can, actually, we all do without thinking, because each, like, I can tell you now, each one what you're doing, what you're harmonizing in your system. So breath work is important, but for children is little bit efforts for them. They will not be able to manage it. As I said, just holding a finger for 1 minute, you need to get them to practice it to be able to do it. As I said, my son started doing it when he benefited, when he felt like he calmed down on the way to the office, to the principal's office, he started doing it regularly. Children, to get them to do breath work, I don't think it's easy for them to do this. But it would be an ideal world if all the students are taught this, for sure. I mean, adults can't follow this. Imagine kids will do it. Adults can't follow such routine.
Yeah.
But yeah, one day, I'm sure one day all schools will use these alternative therapy method, because they are easy, they are handy, they are everywhere, and it will help the teachers and the students. And of course, it will help the parents at home.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sure.
I thank you for the rendering. It's so wonderful for the sharing. And because I teach the students in the grade 7 and 8, all of them are the girls. And maybe they are 12 and 13 years old. For me, in my class, sometimes when the students, they talk together, some of them, they talk together in my class, and or they are doing other things. I mean, and sometimes I will pick some of the students. I say, okay, you come to answer my question, and I will give them encouragement. And I say, oh, wow, you answered so well. Sometimes it works, but sometimes when the students do this one, too many people do this together, actually they cannot concentrate on my class. And yeah, I want to know that how can I, and sometimes I try to keep silent, and I see the students, sometimes they know that, okay, maybe this action is not okay, and they will change. But sometimes after this one, they break for a little while, and they continue to talk. And I mean, how can I keep my students to concentrate and follow up my class and let them enjoy the class? Thank you.
So we go back to the same, the sitting on the hands, it works for everyone, whether kids or teenager, like 13, a little bit older than the little ones, than your friend is handling. It's the same. When you feel they're making noise and they're talking, you go, you sit on your chair, you put your hands, and you tell everyone, put the pencil down, the pen, whatever they're doing, put everything on the desk and sit on your hands. We will, you sit on the hands. You say, we will sit on our hands, all of us. While they're doing this, you explain to them that if you're gonna keep making noise and you're gonna keep talking to each other, I will not be able to complete the lesson for you, and then you will have to study it on your own, and that is gonna be a problem because I need to explain something for you. They will understand, but while you're saying this, they have to be sitting on their hands. If they're not, and those who don't sit on their hands, you tell them you have to put your hands under you. And when they do it, they will be calm and they will listen to you and they will be still. And you wait for like 2-3 minutes while you're telling them this, and then you stand up yourself, and then you continue. And you say, thank you so much. I'm proud of you that you're doing this. Let's finish the lesson. They will follow. Try it. And please let me know the result, because I'm sure it will work. Any other questions? Close it. Thank you so much. And thank you for everyone online. Thank you. So next session will be on the 16th. We're going to talk about other topics related to children. It's going to be on the 16th, same time here, Saturday.